that's part of world politics, an extremely important part of world politics. And so I know a lot about Russian oil and oil politics in general. So that kind of became my specialty in London. I did an internship at NATO in Brussels. I studied in Russia at Moscow State University, where I learned Russian. Okay, I learned a little Arabic along the way. And after my PhD, I decided to go back to Washington and work. But very soon, I decided to go in academia. And so I've taught at several major American universities. I've taught around the world at various universities and done presentations. I've been a research fellow in the United Arab Emirates. I was a Fulbright Fellow in Brazil. I was a Fulbright Fellow in China. I've been just 140 countries, I think, in some capacity. So I've been around the block a little bit. And so that's what I do. I'm a social scientist. My job is to understand social reality and to understand cultures and thus understand people. And I feel comfortable wherever I go, whether it's Africa or China or Brazil or the Gaza Strip. You sit me down and I can talk to people. And one of the keys to understanding is doing a good job with it. You've got to understand your audience. I've already looked at all your names and all your pictures. Department of Fisheries, Agriculture, Ministry of the Environment, boom, 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 boom. I got it right in my head. I just looked.
Yeah, the first thing you asked me, tell me what they do. So you looked at each one of your CV.
Yeah.
So you understand how important to have a CV, what is clear, what is your profile. This is the first thing he asked when he came.
Because I'm an analyst, I'm an academic. My job is to understand social reality. And that's what I do. And people say, well, you talk too much, you ask too many questions. Wherever I go, I ask somebody, I say, who are you? Where are you from? What tribe are you? What country are you from? What languages do you speak? Where does your family come from? That's what I do. People say, well, why are you asking me all these personal questions? Well, for me, it's interesting. You're from South Central Italy, and you went to school in Naples, and now you live in Lisbon, and you're with a young lady from Mexico. And so I like to know this stuff. I like to know my audience.
It's important to know your audiences.
Okay.
But the first thing he asked, I want to know more.
Yeah, because if you're doing presentation, you want to engage people. It's kind of hard to do with 200 people, but it can be done. So that's who I am. I'm a Southerner. I'm from the southern United States. I'm from Georgia, I'm not a Yankee, see. In America, we still have these regional divides. They're very real. Culture doesn't change very quickly. Culture does it, unfortunately, sometimes, right? And you know that probably by working in Gambia and Africa. Culture is culture. And religion is religion. And so there you have it. And you have to deal with that. You can't change it. You have to deal with it. You have to engage. And you have to know how to engage so you don't offend people, and you do it diplomatically. And it becomes fun. Okay? Are you Mariama?
By the way, Mariama, she studied in Texas.
And she's with the Ministry of the Environment? No, you do. I looked at your picture and which ministry you're with, but you're in the field of environment, climate, and correct?
Yeah, climate change.
Okay, climate change. Well, I've been following climate change for a very long time. In fact, I was in the United States Congress in 1987 when James Hansen, the chief scientist for NASA, testified before the Senate Environmental Committee and first told America about global warming, climate change. It was the first time a major scientist came to Congress and said, look, we've got a problem. That was in 1987. And here we are today with Trump wiping out all of Biden's environmental initiatives. So that's a very dear topic to me. And I followed it for a long time. I have many friends who are climate scientists in the United States that work for NASA or NOAA or whomever. I don't claim to know the science of it that well, but I have followed the issue, and politically I follow the issue quite closely and been very, very involved in it. And the last thing I would say is you should understand, although I'm a social scientist, I'm an environmentalist. I'm a passionate environmentalist. I'm a passionate conservationist. I've been a lifetime member of the Audubon Society, Sierra Club, Greenpeace, you name it. I've been a member for 40, 50 years. When I was in university, I was 20 years old, I was protesting. I was protesting. I got arrested once when I was very young. So I'm very passionate about the environment and conservation. And if anybody wants to understand me, if you're talking about understanding your audience, forget my PhD, forget my master's, forget my teaching, forget my work here. I'm an environmentalist. And since I've retired, more or less, that's kind of what I do. I consult and advise young Gambians that are involved in environmental stuff. I met yesterday with a young boy who works for the Gambia Environmental Alliance, just helping out as I can in any way. And I keep up with international environmental governance, and I support groups and write letters. I get up every morning, write letters, make phone calls, do whatever I can do, because I don't think there's anything more important. That's just my own personal view. I don't think there's anything more important than the environment and conserving life on this dear planet that might be the only one in the universe. So that's me, and I'm very passionate about that. Okay. Any questions you might have for me?
Yeah, I have a question.
Do you have many questions for me? He invited me here today just to watch your presentations, and then maybe if you're willing, I can critique you, give you advice on maybe how to do it more effectively, if you want. And I'm here to, any questions you have about anything, whether it's working in Washington or working for an IGO or what have you. I'm here to help. I'm really good with giving advice. Because I was a teacher. I mentor people. I advise people, about what you might want to do with your future, or if you want to take a trip somewhere or what have you. I'm here to answer your questions. So any questions right now?
Yeah, question. Considering your background, how did you connect it with the environment?
How do I connect
with environment?
How do I connect with the environment?
Because you are a social scientist.
As a social scientist, well, the thing about international politics, which I teach, it's very interdisciplinary. I think one of the keys today to be